So there's an estimated 1 million people living in the country with MS, and every journey is unique, and everyone living with MS has their own story to tell. Tonight's speaker and my great friend, Ginger, has MS, but she doesn't let it slow her down, and it's hard to find a more driven, passionate, talented, and smart person than Ginger. So I'll turn it over to the star of the night and my amazing co-chair for this event, Ginger Rothis.
Thank you, Tucker. So I was doing the math on the way here tonight. We've been friends for 30 years. Tucker and Mandy and I love you guys, and I'm so grateful for you. And it's been an honor to co-chair this awesome night. When we picked the date of June 2nd, we were like, do you think it's possible? Like, we could actually gather with people again? And as I thought about preparing for tonight, I really thought we all have a whole new perspective on adversity now after the last 14 months of the pandemic. We all have a whole new perspective of what it means to live with uncertainty. And so I think you can appreciate more than ever what somebody that's diagnosed with MS lives with. I've lived with MS for 19 years. It is an unpredictable disease. It is one that at diagnosis, often you're having so many symptoms that am I getting an echo? Is that annoying? Okay, it's just, I hear it, okay. It's one that pulls the rug out from under you, and you wonder if life will ever be normal again. I think as humans, we have a whole new perspective on that after the last year. MS is different for every person, as Jenna has said and Tucker said. It's not a disease of cause and effect. I can be doing everything right and wake up with a relapse. I can be doing a lot of things wrong and pushing myself, and I get by with it. And my friends know I gamble with that risk a lot. But it's not a disease that really makes sense, and that makes it very hard to diagnose and very hard to develop medications for. I was officially diagnosed at age 29. But I had had symptoms for 3 years prior to that. At age 26, I was working for one of the big 6 consulting firms. I was climbing that ladder. I had met a guy at work, and he was a great guy from Cincinnati, and we were dating long distance, and I thought I had life all figured out. Things were really aligning. I was really happy. And then I started having muscle pain, like the kind of pain that you have after the day after a hard workout, or for those of you that ride 150 miles, that pain, I was having that all the time and not associated with doing anything. So we began trying to find a diagnosis because I was too young to have this unexplainable pain. And then I started having numbness in my hands and feet. And we started going down many paths that led to some misdiagnosis. And people here with MS tonight, many of us were misdiagnosed with something else first. But then my vision started to go. And then I had feelings of car sickness associated with that vision loss. So like after riding a roller coaster a couple times, that yuck feeling, I was kind of living with that. And my doctor said, then we're doing an MRI. And the MRI is one of the diagnostic protocols that shows lesions in your brain. And then a spinal tap concluded for me that it was a diagnosis of MS. So at that diagnosis, I was a newlywed. Rob and I had gotten married. That guy in Cincinnati, it worked out. It's still working out. And I felt this sense of relief, but also fear. A relief that my pain had a name and had a medication. We'd solved that mystery, but a lot of fear over what does this mean to be 29 years old and face a debilitating chronic illness. And so I gave Rob an opt-out. I said, all right, this is not what you signed up for when you married me. If you want to go start over and find somebody healthy, you get a free pass. And he said, no, I'm in this with you. He was clearly in it for the long game and said, we'll figure it out together. And we continue to figure it out together. So at the time I was diagnosed, there were 4 medications only They were all injections 19 years ago, and 3 of them were basically old chemotherapy that they were trying out for MS just to suppress the immune system. And so they really weren't specialized, but we started on one of those 4 drugs. That meant a daily injection. For 10 years, we did a daily injection. And most of the time, as my hand was shaking, I couldn't do it myself, and Rob did it for me. And then for 7 years after that, every Wednesday night, Rob would give me an injection in my thigh, and we would prepare for 24 hours of flu-like symptoms the next day. And that's the way we lived life. And we had children and raised toddlers, and many people didn't even know I was living with MS, and I was trying to hide it. And we did pretty well with that. Today, or I do want to say, that was 19 years ago, 4 drugs. There are 20 today. And 9 of them are oral, meaning a pill. Yeah. So in that, the donations you are making have changed the life for people with MS, and we continue to just get better research. So today, Rob and I have 2 teenagers. They have busy lives. I found my purpose partly because I understood compassion in a whole new way and started a business, and it's growing. And things are going well, but I have never forgotten that 10 years ago, when my son was going to kindergarten, I wasn't sure I could walk him in the building. At that point, I couldn't walk unassisted. And when we built our house, we built it with a wheelchair in mind. This is a reality that we live with. When I read a book, it's not lost on me that one day I might lose my sight. And my kids have seen way more suffering than I would ever want them to. But what I know is that that has taught us compassion in a whole new way. And what I know for sure is that laughter is the best medicine, and my family and friends are gold, and I have been surrounded by love, and that can treat anything. Yeah. I've also learned to do what lights you up. Life is too short to live dim. And I've also learned that we all have a version of suffering. We're all fighting something. And we all put on the good front, but we're hurting inside. And that's how we show each other compassion. We're all doing this human experience together. And it's so cool to look around this patio tonight and see all of these people that came together for the same cause. Author Gary Zukav has this concept called Earth School. And the idea is that our soul comes into our body and goes through Earth School in our lifetime. And then when we die, we graduate from Earth School. And as I think about that metaphor, those classes in the curriculum in suffering is really where we learn the most. You're here because either you have MS or somebody you love has MS. You know suffering intimately. Somebody you love is struggling to walk, to get through life, not wondering what's going to happen next. But what an honor that we all get to do this Earth School together. And I know that you are all committed to leaving this earth a better place than when we arrived. And part of that is eradicating diseases like this. We have the potential in our lifetime to eradicate not only MS, but curing MS will likely lead to a cure for Parkinson's and ALS and other neurological diseases. They're all so interrelated that your help with MS might lead to a cure for all of those diseases. And we could do that in our lifetime. These diseases could go away. So the money you donate tonight, just know it goes to finding these cures, but it also goes to helping with that diagnosis protocol so that people aren't misdiagnosed, so they get on medication more quickly, so they suffer less. The MS Society is also fabulous with support programs and education for newly diagnosed, overwhelmed patients and their caregivers. The MS Society does an amazing job of making people feel less alone while they're living with chronic illness. So thank you for hearing my story tonight. Thank you for my so many dear friends that showed up for me. And let's raise some money for a great cause. Thank you.